But guys, let's move on into our next segment, and we're talking a little bit about the AAF. Recording this, so this is going to come out, like, I believe this one will be regular scheduled, so it'll be Thursday.
Cool.
But
So
we're
we're missing all
recording
the
this
AAF
Saturday.
content.
I am throwing it out right now. There's one game right now that has been played today.
Yep.
It is the Salt Lake Stallions beat the Arizona Hotshots 23-15. We are getting ready for my Memphis Express going up against the Orlando Apollo. I'm buying in, Sean.
They're gonna get their asses rolled.
We've lost 2 games straight.
Well, here's my thing: is I was gonna pick the Express too. But oh my God, I am jumping off that bandwagon as quick as possible.
You know what?
I can't be called a bandwagoner because
yes, and I'm in on it.
I cannot be called.
I said I will, and I'm going.
I can't be called a bandwagoner because it's literally just started. I don't care. I need to find my team. Do not want to do the Memphis Express. I think Mike Singletary and Christian Hackenberg should have been a way clearer sign that this team was going to be much worse. But they've been bad. I'm loving Spurrier. They've been fun.
Which team is Spurrier?
Apollos.
That's right. That's right. The team they're going up against. But I mean, the one that I can't root for all good reason is the Birmingham Iron.
Why not?
I'm not a fan of like that team. I'm not a fan of that like just the boring black and silver. It just reminds me of like the Steelers or Alabama.
Luis Perez has been a really like surprising talent so far. I've been shocked at how good he's been.
But what we're talking about with the AAF is apparently there have been 2 names in kind of the rumor mill for the AAF to reach out. Apparently, first off, Mark was telling me, I didn't hear this, but Mark did, that apparently the league didn't have enough money to pay its players, so it needed an emergency investment from a investor to keep going. Hilarious. So there's that.
Well, what I heard is one of the original investors pulled out, and then they needed somebody.
Okay.
And the owner of the Hurricanes actually stepped in with a $250 million.
Because
good guy.
Yeah.
From what I heard from Mark was yeah, they couldn't pay their players, which just sounded bad. But apparently the AAF reached out to Colin Kaepernick and Tim Tebow, and their names have been thrown out. I think Cap has given a hard no right now.
I mean,
but
I didn't hear a hard no. I heard a more of a F you.
Here is what I am going to ask you. We're not asking will they, won't they.
Yep.
We're asking should they. So, Dave, I'm going to ask you. Colin Kaepernick, Tim Tebow, should they be interested? Should they join the AAF?
Absolutely. This is the exciting sport. This is the up-and-coming sport. It's the new hotness.
The exciting sport where the big hits matter.
Well, here's the big hits do matter. They come, and I'm just terrified for some of these.
Here comes the boom.
Yes. Great movie, by the way.
Yes.
Great movie.
What movie?
Here Comes the Boom.
With Kevin James? No, fuck that. No. As a fan of MMA, I'm never watching that garbage.
I had to pause that just so I could get it out.
I think my brain shut off when you brought that up.
but go ahead, Dave.
But no, okay. So in all seriousness, baseball's boring. Tim Tebow would be amazing in the AAF.
Baseball's boring.
Is it not?
It is. It's
Thank
not.
you.
It's not.
Thank you.
You said it's not
It's
boring?
not.
Oh, it totally is.
It's not.
It's incredibly boring. It's the longest sport. Nobody cares about it for 3 of its however many months it takes to complete a season.
Well, we're starting now and it goes until October.
Yeah.
So 6.
Way too fucking many. So people care for about a month and a half. When your sport has that little relevancy.
You know NBA goes from October to May, right?
June. Finals are in June.
Okay, that's literally
NBA is season round,
that's
bitch.
8 months.
Season round.
8 months.
Well,
and I care every single day. Every single day. Sorry. Let's actually wrangle this in.
We're getting sidetracked here. Kaepernick, Tebow, should they join the AAF?
Absolutely yes, because he was something that was unique. He was a lightning rod for the sport. Obviously, he put his faith first, and people were very divisive on that.
Some were turned off on it.
Yeah,
some were.
People were very divisive about that. But the thing that made it special was his love for the game. The fact that he went out there, he was able to do what he loved, and he had fun doing it. And I think he was a great leader in the locker room. Everybody loved working with him, playing with him. So if he came back to a sport where that was his first love. Baseball's great now. Don't get me wrong. He's able to hit some dingers, but he's not going to cut it as a professional baseball player, but he could be a professional AAF player, which would be even cooler in my mind. Colin Kaepernick, also lightning rod, very different reasons, but he has the talent. He should be in the NFL. There's no argument there. The NFL just paid him money because there was collusion around the fact that no one would sign him.
Yeah.
So with that one, due to the relationship with the NFL and the AAF, I don't know that he ever would go there, but if he did go there, he would instantly be their star. he would
without a doubt.
He was a special player when he had last played. He would instantly be a star of the league. I absolutely love the potential of him going to the AAF.
What do you think, Sean?
I don't know if he was a star player when he last played.
I didn't say a star when he last played. I said a great player when he last played.
That is even more of a stretch.
Really? I thought his last time on the 49ers, not before they sat him, but like when he actually played.
Well, like, I mean, like when he first started his career, he was insane.
Yeah.
Ron Jaworski was calling him the greatest quarterback of all time after,
I remember that.
4 games. But no, he got benched like midway through the season.
I feel like that was a little
he was not like it was probably a mix of politics. I will not write that off. But I think the majority, I mean, he wasn't great. Like, he should be a backup quarterback in the NFL. Without a doubt. He has that talent. But I don't know if he should be a starter.
Okay.
Or if he would be a starter. If we're just going,
if we're taking
the politics out of it,
yes.
Which is hard to do in Kaepernick's situation.
Absolutely.
I think that he would probably be competing for a starting job. I just don't know if he'd get one.
Okay.
I think for both of them, they should not do it. My biggest thing with Tebow is he could totally revitalize his NFL career, but we've seen everything that I think we could have out of Tim Tebow's football career. Like, he's a fantastic college quarterback. He was, one of the most insane players to watch when he was in Florida. He had the great moment in the NFL with the Denver Broncos. I just don't think there's anything else he can add on to his football legacy, right? If he goes in, plays well at the AAF, that's awesome. But, like, he's still not an NFL quarterback, and that does carry a lot of weight. All these guys in the AAF are trying to be NFL quarterbacks. I think that door is closed on Tim Tebow being an NFL quarterback again. So I don't think he should, and I think his baseball career, while it isn't anything spectacular, I think it's better than anyone would have thought. I mean, last year in AA, hit 273, on-base percentage of 336, slugging percentage under 400. Not great, but, I mean, again, for a guy who has not played baseball in so long, pretty impressive for a 30-year-old. And I think if he does have that opportunity at some point, if the Mets do trail off late in the season and they do call him up, and him making it in, if he's able to hit a home run, I mean, like, talk about the movie ending this guy's going to have.
Apple.
Yeah, like, literally. If he's in Citi Field, goes deep, dead center, hits, and fuck, if it's a walk-off.
He's got the power, too.
If it's a walk-off, yeah.
You just wrote a Disney movie.
His life is already a Disney movie.
Yeah.
I bet he has fucking Bambi walking around. He's got the whole, like, clean look.
He's got Dumbo in his
backyard. Yeah, the Tim Tebow boxers, or boxer briefs, right?
Yeah, he's got like, clean cut.
So that's how he came back and won that year in Florida. He had the genie in the lamp. He was able to wish for it.
That's a different motion.
No, he was
genie. I was rubbing my genie last night.
I'm gonna hold it up here then.
I just think with Tebow again,
You've
like,
been in this room way too long.
You look at like his spotlight in the media. Great college quarterback, was doubted, and then everyone's like, "What the fuck? This guy's a first-round pick." And then he has that moment in Denver where he wins the playoff game, and then he he kind of has a falling out in the NFL. Just didn't really land out, just pan out in the Eagles or the Patriots, and then going back and trying in a different sport and actually making it and having a big moment in the MLB, I think would be actually absolutely huge compared to the AAF, because no matter how big football is, the NFL is number one. And then baseball, NBA, NHL are behind it. AAF is not that level. It is football, but it's not to that level where it means as much. If you're hitting an MLB home run, that is big. If you're scoring a touchdown in the AAF, it's not as big as an MLB home run.
And you're hitting on a big point to where, how I see it, in terms of Tebow and Cap, means nothing to them. Like, the AAF means nothing to them.
Yeah.
Getting Tebow and Cap means everything to the AAF, because here's the problem, and this is kind of the crux of this conversation, is my problem with the AAF, and I get it's supposed to be like a developmental league.
Yeah.
And it might be hard to get us to care about these players right now, but I feel like the AAF need at least a Tebow or at least a Kaepernick type of player to bring guys into it. Because, like, if I'm going and I'm using our lads, because they've got the depth chart for the AAF teams, I'm going to go with just the starting quarterbacks coming into this week. For the Atlanta Legends, we've got Matt Sims as their starting quarterback. Backing him up is Aaron Murray, played for Georgia. Then for Birmingham, you've got Luis Perez as their starting quarterback. For the Express, Christian Hackenberg. All right, people know who he is. For the, what team is this? This is the Apollos. Your boy, you liked him when he was coming out of... I want to say it was SMU, I believe. Remember Garrett Gilbert did?
I do.
Yeah.
He was Texas Tech.
Or no, he wasn't Texas. He was a smaller Texas school.
Texas. transfer, I think.
Was he? Okay, that's right.
I'll look it up.
Then you have Philip Nelson for the San Diego Fleet. You've got for the Commanders, let's see, Logan Woodside is your Commanders quarterback. You've got Josh Woodrum for the Stallions. And then you have John Walford for the Hotshots. Most of these names no one's going to know. Like, that's their problem right now, is that nobody knows most of the names in this league.
Yeah, Gilbert started at Texas and then transferred to SMU. It's a big point that you're hitting on, that there's not that brand name
but
at the brand position.
But if they bring in like a Tim Tebow, Cap I don't think they're going to bring in, but if they bring in a Tim Tebow, that could change.
I think what it does is it legitimizes the AAF, to be honest with you. It's a developmental league, so it should be guys who need a shot, who need that spotlight on them. If there was
right now, they might need that one guy to bring eyes to.
I think what it would be like, and I know this isn't going to happen because he's going to be signed by an NFL team, but if Teddy Bridgewater's injury was more dramatic, like that would be the guy to put him in a situation where he can work his way back. And if he came in and lit up the AAF, that would be big. But a guy like Colin Kaepernick, he's had his NFL career. And what does he need to prove football-wise? Nothing. He's trying to do something political, and all power to him. I'm not trying to bash that, but his mindset right now is building up that political mindset. And if he goes in and restarts his football career, which I think he'd be fine doing, I think the biggest thing
there'll be people that'll spin it negatively too, like he's taking jobs away from people, and it's like
that at all. Now, my point is,
why even spin it that way?
I mean, no, I don't think anyone's going to spin it that way. My thing would just be is if he comes in and doesn't perform, then people take it as people attack it. Yeah, it's like he's a bum. His position doesn't matter. I think it might possibly delegitimize his position if he doesn't play well, because he hasn't played football in the past 2 years. So I think that's a risk he runs. He has nothing to prove from a football standpoint, and all of his gains will come politically. If he's able to get back in the NFL, which he won't be, then that will be able to prove his point that he is talented enough to make it there. The AAF is not going to provide him that platform.
Tebow, if he feels like, hey, I'm never going to get to the Mets, could be like, hey, I like playing football. Let me go and play football think that's the thing. Before I age out.
I think it's a passion for Tebow. That's where it's different. Like, I think the Mets thing could be interesting, and it 100% could happen.
But will he get to the major leagues and get that chance that you talked about?
It's an attraction. The Mets need some attention if they're doing bad in the season. Absolutely, there's a chance in a year or two he gets called up and he gets that storybook ending like Sean sold.
Outside of, the ability of just wanting to play football, what does Tim Tebow need to do to his football career?
There's nothing.
No, we're saying passionately he still wants to play the game before he can't anymore.
I just don't think.
Too old.
I think his passion right now is baseball, and I think if
he was pushed into it. That's the difference.
He was not.
He was. It was basically like you're washed up in football. Nobody wants you around.
He had a fine job at ESPN.
I had this. I had the same conversation with Mark on the podcast last week, and I believe the same thing Dave is. If the AAF was around when Tim Tebow was 100%. In the NFL, he would have never went to baseball. He would have been in the AAF.
That's fine. I'm just saying he was not pushed into baseball. He took his time from NFL to baseball. He had a passion that developed.
Dave's saying pushed is like there was no development.
There was no opportunity for him to continue playing football. And he did not want to go international and play in Canada, so he went and stayed.
And that's an argument that could happen if it was 2016 the AAF happened. For sure, without a doubt.
It's also a short-term gig, too. Think about it. The AAF is not a full season. It's not a year-round season.
They're done in, I want to say, April. No. Right. April is when their season ends.
Just don't think that Tebow can add anything to his football legacy, and it would just be it would be a waste of his time, to be honest with you. Because
is it a waste if you enjoy your time spent?
No, I say no.
That's the argument. Like, I get you from a legacy standpoint. We put these people on pedestals.
He's also going to be a dad soon.
And we just got married. Legacy so much.
He's going to be a dad soon. Probably. He just got married. Like, I don't think football would be a smart choice for him. Because he's going to be older, he's going to be slower, he's not going to be the same quarterback. Like, go play baseball, you're having fun. Like, if you can make it to the MLB, that's a huge thing for you.
Quality of life, man. He's traveling around on buses in AA. Like, I don't know if that's what I don't get my excitement from that.
And the second he's done with that, like, he's on ESPN doing College Game Day and has a ton of money.
4 months playing football, the game that you love.
Would you rather?
And then going on ESPN?
You're still playing in the same level of competition. You're still traveling on shitty transportation. Like, the transportation doesn't get better at the AAF.
They do. They actually have flights. They actually fly.
Okay. Okay. Oh, big flight. Oh, you're getting a coach flight.
That's because they only have a game a week because they're not a shitty 162 game, way too fucking long season.
Okay. The
game against baseball.
Spring training is, or minor leagues is shorter than 162.
I know.
But even then, it's like
you're
not going to be staying.
I'm just taking every shot I can.
You're not going to be staying in professional hotels in the AAF. Like you're playing in Salt Lake City. Like you're not
There's
playing.
Some fine hotels in Salt Lake City. It's a good town.
Can we on this topic? He's being a dick.
Am I wrong? Are you demeaning
I don't know. I've never been to Salt Lake City.
Second-class city to you?
Do you know what? You know where?
I've been there. I spent time there.
Why?
Because I went on a vacation out west.
With who?
My family.
You guys went to Salt Lake City?
We went to Colorado and we passed through Salt Lake City.
How?
Stayed a couple nights there. Because you got a loop.
I'm pretty sure I'm bad at geography. I am pretty sure that Colorado is above Utah, and I think you can just go straight west. I think you can go straight west to Denver.
So here's a map of the United States.
Yeah.
We're gonna say
Colorado becomes before Utah. So you made the decision to go to Utah.
Correct.
You did not have to pass through Utah.
Correct.
That's a dumb idea. Your family had a dumb vacation. You know what's not in the top 20 vacation destinations in the U.S.? Salt Lake City, for good reason.
Is that the same vacation where you saw the WCW guys?
Yes, it was. And that was in Salt Lake City.
I thought so.
I actually saw Karl Malone and Dennis Rodman during the WCW days.
That's pretty sick.
Was it a waste now, Sean?
So the thing was, we left.
Dennis Rodman's cool. I see Dennis Rodman. Just go to a Pearl Jam concert.
We left Illinois and we went all the way over Colorado, Utah, and then Idaho, Montana, and then South Dakota or Wyoming, South Dakota, and we kind of zigzagged our way back.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
It was a fun time. I love road trips.
Point being,
don't disrespect Salt Lake City.
Tim Tebow.
That's what we're taking away. Should Colin Kaepernick and Tim Tebow play in the AAF? Don't disrespect Salt Lake City. That's the takeaway.
I'll end it with this. My problem right now.
Who do he play for? Orlando.
Who?
If Tebow signed Orlando, right?
Tebow?
Do they maintain his college rights since he played at Florida?
Probably.
I think that's a whole big thing with AAF.
Know.
I mean,
probably want to go
figure it out. He probably want to go play with Spurrier. I'm guessing
that'd be interesting.
That would be awesome too. Here's my two problems with the AAF right now.
Sure.
No names right now, and of course we got to get used to these names.
Yep.
And two, I feel like the defenses are way too strong and the offenses are not that good, which might level out through years, but they need a big name. That's what I think. They need at least one to draw some attention. Because I want the AAF to be successful. I
do too, and I don't want to say
because I like football.
I just think that it's a developmental league. It's not a professional league. So, of course, the names aren't going to be huge because it's developmental. And, yes, there are guys like Tim Tebow and Colin Kaepernick.
But that's the thing. It's got that special factor that, basketball's developmental league is going during the season. The AAF is after. So you get 100% focus on this product. And I think that's where, it's a developmental league, but it's also got people's attention.
Yeah.
So.
And I think there's going to be opportunities for guys like Tim Tebow. Like, there's going to be guys that come out again, like Troy Smith as well, like former Heisman guys that, just don't make it because they're not big enough. Like, Kyler might have been that guy, but obviously Kyler's more talented.
Kyler's a stud.
He's more athletic than Tim Tebow was. So I think, there's going to be opportunities to find those guys that come out of college. Obviously the USFL did that as well. They were able to get, like, Steve Young, Bo Jackson, Jim Kelly. Like, there are names that came out and became Hall of Famers out of the USFL. So the blueprint's there. I just don't think it needs to be, let's go out and get a brand name already. I think you need to find a name that is young and still fits the MO of this league, and that's being a developmental league.
Rooting for the underdogs. Nothing better.
Well, this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think down below in the comment section. Should Tim Tebow, should Colin Kaepernick join the AAF? Let us know what you're thinking down below.